Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another big exciting day in my kitchen. Where are we going? What are we making? I think we're gonna go to Puglia and we're gonna make something that's, it's delicious. It's a pocketed dough filled with just deliciousness, just awesome ingredients from around the region. So what we're making today is Panzerotti Pugliese, which means Puglia, the region of Puglia, right above the heel and then down the heel. That's the Puglia or Apulia region. And these are, they're kind of like a calzone. The dough's a little different, and depending on where you are in Puglia or where you are in Italy, you're going to see variations of both the dough or the ingredients. So what'll happen a lot of times, depending on the season, what's available that time of the year will depend on what you stuff these puppies with. So let me go over ingredients. These are a lot of fun. I'll tell you, they are delicious and they're a lot of fun to make with your family. First thing we need to do is make some dough. We're going to start with some flour. We got 2 cups of flour, all-purpose will be great. I like unbleached, unenriched flour, so low protein content, either a pastry flour would be great. Half a cup of milk. Next, you're going to need a half a cup of water with about a half of a teaspoon, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and you're going to let the salt dissolve. Half a teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of yeast. Now we want to soften the dough. We want to give it a little bit added like texture, a little silkiness to it, something to make it a little bit more flavorful. And what you'll see in a lot of the southern Italian breads or doughs is you're going to use a potato. So in this case, I got a small potato and I boiled it so it's nice and tender. You're going to need some salt and pepper, fresh ground on the pepper. I've got here some Sicilian flaky sea salt. It's a little softer, brinier. You know, I always say with my pink Himalayan it's sexy, but this stuff's pretty sexy too. I got to be honest with you, it's sexy. And we're going to need some olive oil. Now listen, anybody new to our channel, I own a farm in Italy. It's in Puglia, which is where this recipe's from, right? And it's just above the heel. We co-op with a group of farmers to bring you some of the, what I consider some of the best extra virgin Italian olive oil. I named the company after my 2 sons, Vito and Joe. That's a picture of the Borio family there when they went to Italy. Pretty cool. And you know, it's grassy, earthy, peppery. We co-op, like I said, with a whole group of farms to bring you something really delicious. I know what you're thinking. I'd love to get it. I'd love for you to get it too. So go to my Facebook page or my Instagram or my website, cookingitalianwithjoe.com. Just click buy it now. We'll send you a few bottles. It comes in a large and a small. We'll drop ship it right to your front doorstep. I always think of it as taking a trip to Italy right in a bottle. Back to our ingredients, guys. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Joe, you said you're going to stuff these things with something delicious, and you are. So what you're going to do is you're going to get some tomatoes. So here I've got some San Marzano tomatoes, peeled. We're going to mush them down here. I've got 1 big can, about 18 ounces of tomatoes. And now you can put in there whatever you want. You guys can get crazy. You can have fun. Do you like ham? Do you like prosciutto? Do you like coppa? You know what I mean? You can put anything you want in here. I've got some great ricotta cheese made with some whole milk, so I love ricotta cheese. Here I've got some mozzarella, I've got coppa, I've got prosciutto, I've got roasted peppers. Here I had some meatballs left over from a few nights ago, so I'm going to chop these up, put them in one, and then I've got some fresh baby spinach. Traditionally, these are served with tomatoes, ham, and mozzarella. Traditionally, in old Puglia, I would say the standard are going to be those 3 ingredients. You're going to need a couple other things, guys. I'm going to use a cast iron pot here with a lid, and I like that enameled inside where it's white. It gives you a contrast. Ideally and traditionally, these are fried or deep fried in peanut oil. So I'm going to take majority of peanut oil, a little bit of olive oil. We're going to heat that up, and that's what we're going to fry them in. Always have a nice pan. I got a nice pan here with a grate to set them on after I pull them out of the fryer, and you're going to need a little time because we're going to make the dough and then we're going to let it rise for about 2 hours, and then we're going to make these little pockets of deliciousness. We're going to deep fry them, and they're really good hot when the cheese is like gooey and chewy. So you want to make sure your family's hungry and make sure your family's ready to go. All right, what do you say? Let's get cooking. Now this is an old school recipe. We're going old school here, okay? We're not gonna use the mixer with the dough hook. First thing, guys, take your 2 cups of flour, pop it right in the middle, and then open this up here a bit. Now here I'm gonna take a ricer. I'm gonna take my potato. pop it right in there, give it a squeeze. Beautiful. Now guys, I'm gonna take a fork, just get everything centered, open it up a little bit more. Now I'm gonna take my yeast, and you got a lot of carbs within the potatoes, a lot of the starches, and that'll help feed your yeast. Give that a nice little blend with your potato. I've got my water with salt, I've got my sugar, and here I've got my milk. I'm gonna put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of Vito and Joe's extra virgin olive oil in there. Beautiful. Give this a stir right inside your well. And no problem if it spills over, don't worry about it. As you do it, just grab a little bit of the flour from the outside. Listen, the moisture content of everything, including the potato, is different every time you make this. So keep some flour on standby. You might need an extra bit of flour, or you might need a little bit of extra milk or water, depending on how things go. Now you can start to see this thickening up, so just keep stirring it. And our goal here is to get this nice and thick on the inside. Just go ahead and keep working it here a bit until it starts to make a dough. You can start to see it sticking together right now. It looks like it's gonna be a little bit on the wet side, so I'm gonna need a little bit more flour. I added just a little bit of flour, probably about 1/4 cup, 1/3 of a cup. And now what I'm gonna do is start to scrape it and start to create a dough out of this. That's perfect right there, got it. You want to work the dough just nice and gentle for probably about 5 minutes or more. Flour your hands or the table just a bit if you need to, so it doesn't stick too much. And what we're trying to do here is build up a little bit of gluten so that when this thing starts to rise, it has some structure, some texture to it. It'll hold the air in the dough, and boy, that gives you something light and fluffy and flavorful and chewy and gooey, and this is gonna be good. Dough's coming out perfect. Texture is right where I want it. So just pull it in, get a little tension on it. Now we gotta let the dough rise, and we wanna let it expand. So just take a sharp knife, come across the top, open it up a little bit, there you go. That gives a little blessing. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let that set there for about 2 hours. Take a cloth, put just a little bit of dampness in it, and then just cover it up. Guys, time to pull this up. There we go. Look at that, beautiful. It's got a little stick to it. I love it. It's gooey, it's pushy, it's airy, it's perfect. Now I'm gonna flour up my work surface here a little bit. I'm gonna take this, get it up on the flour so it's not sticking. Simplest thing here, guys, we're gonna make a couple of just simple, almost like a cracker, like a puff pastry, right, with the dough, which is so delicious. And then we're gonna start making some pockets. Again, they're kind of like a calzone, but the dough is different and the contents are a little bit different. Now, before I start rolling stuff out, I've got my oil getting hot. I've got a rack to put on the finished product of my fried dough with their magical contents. So real simple, you're gonna take a chunk, give it a slice, push that off to the side, get it covered with some flour, along with my rolling pin here, and then just roll it out. Isn't that gorgeous out of olive wood? Oh, so beautiful. In this case, we'll do like a circle. You don't want to go real thin, almost like a pie crust. Beautiful. I'm gonna cut that in 2, guys. And with these guys, I'm just gonna make some crackers. These are fun. Traditionally, they're cut up just like that. These are fun little treats to get going on while you're frying up your pockets of deliciousness. Next, guys, I'm gonna grab another chunk. I'm gonna cut this in half, and now I'm gonna make 2 round discs of dough. Again, right around the thickness of a pie crust. If it sticks a little, don't worry about it. Just get a little flour on there. I got a little bit of stickiness going. There you go, beautiful. First thing I'm gonna do is throw in some sauce, put it right in the middle, hunk of ricotta cheese, there you go. I'm gonna put 3 pieces of spinach, hunk of mozzarella, a slice of copa. Doesn't that look awesome? All right, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this over and seal it up. In old school, guys, what you do is you take the end and you roll it up, just like Nono used to make. All right, there you go, look at that. We're gonna pop that right in the hot oil when it's ready. I'm gonna throw my big puppy in there right now. Guys, you see how that brown? It's got a nice crisp to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it right on our pan. Boy, I'll tell you, the kitchen's filled with a great aroma, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep packing these little pockets of goodness. I'm gonna keep frying them, and I'll talk to you guys in a few minutes. How you guys liking that? Ooh, that's good. All right, so what do you say? Let's bite into one of these. I'm gonna take that guy right there. I'm gonna give it a nice cut right in half. Oh, it's still really hot. See the steam coming out of that? How delicious is that? Look at that. You guys ready for a bite of that puppy right there? Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? As you guys know, my favorite part, oh, the aroma of that. I've got the tomato, the spinach, the ricotta. I don't know what kind of meat is in there. So the dough is just beautiful. It's tender and crispy. And then you get the tomato and then the cheese. And I got the prosciutto and the San Marzano tomatoes and the mozzarella. That is good. That's comfort food in a pocket. And one of the things I love about the old style where you roll it up on the edge, it just finishes with that beautiful crust with dough. Guys, thanks so much for joining me in my kitchen and taking a trip to Puglia, Italy today with me to make some panzerotto, pockets of absolutely deliciousness and goodness. Remember now, hit that subscribe button. I think it's black now, it's not red. Hit the subscribe. Give me a thumbs up for sure. Hit the notification bell. That way anything we got going on our farm, blogging with Boreal, new recipes, trips to Italy, everything will come right to your notification box. Remember to hit the website or Facebook or Instagram. Visit us and grab yourself some bottles of Vito and Joe's extra virgin olive oil. Love to ship you some bottles right to your front doorstep. But guys, you know, the main reason I love spending weekends with you guys in my kitchen is I want to remind you to celebrate your heritage, whatever that may be. But even more important than that, guys, you know what you're going to do? You're going to get around the table with your family and you're going to set some traditions. They're going to last you a lifetime. I know they did for me. Hey guys, from my kitchen to yours. Until next week, mwah, buon appetito.